right, shalom, shalom. Officer Judea, also known as Prince Yizzy.
Shalom, I'm Officer Solomon, also known as Solomon the Benjamite.
And we are
One Nation Israelite School.
Thank y'all. Thank every last one of y'all who tuned in for joining us for the Sabbath. Once again, thank everybody who's with us, viewing and in the building, for joining us for the Sabbath. All right, as we go through the words of the Most High God, Lord's will, some edification come out.
Oh yeah.
All right, today's class is a controversial topic. Some of y'all ain't gonna agree with certain parts that come out. Some of y'all will. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We're just gonna bring it out to you from the best of our understanding, according to the scriptures. It's a controversial topic: regeneration. All right, regeneration, not reincarnation.
Right.
But regeneration. All right. So let's send up some prayers and then we'll get into the class. So let's face the east.
What is it?
Let's face the east and thank the Most High as commanded. Sisters, make sure you got your heads covered according to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 5. Brothers, uncover your head. Verse 4. First, face the east. Oh, you already did that.
Oh, too late.
First.
Father, thank you for letting us be here on your holy day, which is the Sabbath. Thank you for letting us keep it holy, Heavenly Father. Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us come together in this one building and coming together and convocate, Heavenly Father. Let everybody in every spirit be on one accord, Heavenly Father. Let us walk in your truth and your sincerity, Heavenly Father, and keep your laws and commandments. Please forgive us for our sins, known and unknown, Heavenly Father. And on that day that you have appointed, Heavenly Father, let our slate be wiped clean for the sins that we battle with, Heavenly Father. Well, please put your heavenly hands on everybody and every spirit in this building. Let the teacher bring out the message strong and as appointed, Heavenly Father. Let the reader deliver his reading skills strong and appointed. And let everybody be edified in the building and who's watching online, Heavenly Father. Please let us go out there, hit the streets to bring in more workers to harvest in your fields, Heavenly Father, and wake up more lost sheep, Heavenly Father, so you can use them as you please, Heavenly Father. For we are the vessels that you have just made, Heavenly Father. But let our spirits overtake our flesh, Heavenly Father, that we may continue to grow in wisdom and spirit, Heavenly Father. And Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for the food and the drinks, Heavenly Father, and thank you for everything you have done for us. We're grateful, Heavenly Father. This is your son, Solomon ben Israel, praying and asking of these things in your son, Yahweh's name. Amen.
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 Then finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and the power of his what?
His word.
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 This man be tripping.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I got to get louder next time.
You might have to give me some roadside assistance on this. All right. Shalom, shalom. I want everybody to know that throughout the week, we pray for safety and that you all be covered. Those who are with us and those who watch us online, you know.
Right.
And send up prayers. By the way, women, I evened up the score. I did do 2 men's classes this week.
Right.
If you missed them, go back and watch them.
They were good.
The way you men be on point as well. I haven't got good on you men yet like I want to.
Man.
So Monday we'll be back at it. Lord's will. I think I'm gonna go to women again. But we'll see. We'll see. You never know. Women's class Monday. We still trying to figure a direct time for men. What does that say? Cause mine.
I'm going to go check it out.
Cool. Cool.
All glory to the Father.
Glory to the Father. All right, so let's get into the class. Regeneration. Now, first and foremost, I want to start it off this way for a reason. Let's go to Romans 15 and 4. Romans 15 and 4.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So everything that's written in this Bible is written for our learning.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
That we may have hope. Hope to make it into the kingdom. Hope of cleansing our ways. But most importantly, I hope everybody wants to get to the kingdom. So this is our hope.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now, let's go to Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?
That's it.
That's it.
So it says, shall evil be done in the city, and the Lord have not done it. So what is this telling us?
That he's the creator of everything.
Right, he creates evil. There's no evil that goes down, and the Lord hath not done it. When people think that things happen, they be like, man, it's messed up, I can't believe that happened. Something wrong with it. No, ain't no such thing as coincidences or
Yeah, it wasn't his time.
yeah, it ain't none of that. Most High said, if anything evil happened, most High is behind it.
Right.
Watch this. I know some people like, man, God don't do evil. We just read it. Let's read it somewhere else. Let's go to Isaiah 45 and 7. So when evil things happen to you, the Most High is in the hand of it. He's in the works of it, all right?
You best not believe it.
I went there for a reason. Bad things happen to you, Most High God did it.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create
He
darkness.
said, I formed the light and made darkness. Come on.
I make peace and create evil.
Most High said, I create peace. He said, I make peace and I create evil. Come on.
I, the Lord, do all these things.
I, the Lord, do all these things. So he letting you know straight up. Good and bad, I'm in the midst of it. Light and darkness, I'm in the midst of it. Evil things come upon you, I'm the one who did it. Good things come upon you, I'm the one who did it. I, the Lord, do all these things. Right? So, watch this. Because, you know, some people say Satan, you know, when bad things happen, what Sunday church Christians say?
They say,
That's the devil right there, baby.
That's Satan. The devil did that. No, most I don't like that. Don't give the devil my credit. Don't give him my credit.
Too much credit, right?
Right. Watch this. I'm gonna show you that. Because in the same sense, when you saying that something bad happened or something evil happened, the devil did it. You putting him in the same. You put him in the same boat with the Most High God. God ain't got nobody helping him rule. He ain't got nobody helping him rule. Watch this. Deuteronomy 32:39. So in this lifetime, bad things happen to you. The Most High God did it. The Most High God did it, all right?
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 9. For the Lord, you say 9, right?
39, I'm sorry, 39. Salaki. 32 and 39.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive.
So God said, I'm the one that killed, and I'm the one who give life.
Amen.
Come on.
I wound and I heal.
He said, I wound you. I'm the one who wound you. I'm the one who put you on crutches. I'm the one who temporarily paralyzed you. Whatever state you go through, I'm the one who do that thing to you, and then I'm the one who heal you. They can give you crutches all they want. They ain't gonna make you walk again if Most High say hell with that leg.
Right.
So it said, I wound and I heal. Come on.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Who gonna deliver you from the hands of the Most High?
Nobody.
Nobody. That's it.
That was it.
All right. So now, we read that God does, he makes peace and he creates evil. But here's the point. Does anything God do is evil?
nah.
No, it ain't evil. Why? Because his judgments are just.
Right.
Right? I'm going to show you why bad things happen. Why the Most High allow bad things to happen. When he brings bad things to you, this is why. Job 34. Job 34, and let's get verse 10 and 11. So Some of you wonder why your mama got hit by a train and whatever it is. You say, you wonder why you're struggling, you can't pay your bills and all this type of stuff like that. Why you just got fired off your job, all that type of stuff. Watch this.
Job 34 and
start at 10.
Job chapter 34 and verse 10. Therefore hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness.
So far be it from God that he should do wickedness. So it's telling you, listen, you men of understanding, far be it from God that he should do wickedness. Why? Because nothing the Most High do is wicked. Watch this. Read on.
And from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity.
And the Most High don't commit iniquity. So that's what I'm telling you. Bad things happen to you. We consider murder to be bad. The Most High said, nothing happens without me. Ain't nothing bad.
Right.
Watch this. Come on.
11. For the work of a man shall he render unto him.
What is that telling you?
Yeah, put the spirit on that.
No. Say that again, something.
Whatever you reap, you sow.
Right. He said, for the works of man shall I render unto him. Meaning, he'll pay you according to what your works.
Right.
So if murder came to you, you did works that was deserving of murder.
Mm.
If you end up crippled, you did works that was worthy of you being crippled.
Man.
Whatever the case may be. You was born blind. You did works in your past life that was worthy of you being blind in this life. It's going into regeneration slowly but surely. All right, watch this. So he said, I render unto man according to thy works, right? According to his ways. Watch this. Sirach 18 and 21.
Okay.
Sirach 18 and 21.
I thought you had one of me. I thought I ain't read it out. That's what I thought. 18 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
Sirach chapter 18 and verse 21. Humble thyself before thou be sick, and in the time of sin show repentance.
Right. So it says, humble yourself before thou be sick. That's telling you. Sin, if you sin in the Most High, one of his ways of paying you is to send you sickness.
Right.
He said, you better humble yourself before thou be sick. Watch this. Go to Isaiah 59 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1.
So one of the Most High ways of paying you for sin is to give you a disease or illness.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear.
So he's saying, basically, for lack of better words, what he's saying is God can save you if he wants.
Right.
And he can hear you. He can hear you. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why, some people say they've been praying and they ain't getting no answer.
Right.
I've been praying, I've been waiting for an answer. You never answer me. He said, most I said, nigga, I ain't deaf, I can hear. He said, I ain't deaf, I can hear, and I can save you if I want to.
Right.
But why? Why hasn't he saved you? Verse 2.
Verse 2.
He said, you pray, most of the time you pray for what you want or what you need. He said, I know what you want, I know what you need, I can deliver you, I can save you, I can give you what you want, I can hear your prayers. But it's the reason why he didn't. Why? Verse 2.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 2. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
So that's why he said, you wonder why some of your answers ain't getting prayed? Because your iniquities and your sins have made the Most High hide his face from you. Meaning he don't want to hear it. Watch this. Jeremiah 5 and 26.
Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 26. Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that seeth snares. They set a trap, they catch men.
That's Jeremiah 5:26.
Jeremiah 5 and 26, right?
That was it.
Yeah. That was the end of it.
All right. Watch this. Give me. Let's go back to where we was at. Job 34. Job 34, 10 and 11.
Do you not want Jeremiah?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Jeremiah 5:26.
I'm sure it wasn't 25. Because it said something about sins and iniquity.
I'm shooting from the hip, so y'all got to forgive me if that was off.
How do you shoot from the hips?
Yeah, I mean, it's not written down. I'm shooting out the brain. Let me, what I just called?
He wanted me to go back to Job.
Yeah, Job 34:10.
All right, yeah, let's go down.
Job chapter 34 and verse 10. Therefore hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity.
Shalom, see Christ.
Shalom.
All right, so the Most High, his judgments, he don't do wickedly because he render according to your words. All right, so now that we have that, watch this. Let's go to Job 4 and 7. So nothing happens to anybody coincidentally. Anything that comes upon you is something you did that deserve that action.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody gets murdered on earth for no reason. There was no, some people, he never did nothing to nobody. You think that person innocent. What did they ever do to deserve the treatment they got? They did plenty. Most I just decided to hit them for it now. Watch. Job 4 and 7.
Job chapter 4 and verse 7. Job chapter 4 and verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where the righteous cut off.
Right. These are rhetorical questions. That's why it's written the way it's written. He said, whoever perished innocently.
Right.
Read it again.
Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent.
So it said, who's ever perished being innocent? Read on.
Or where were the righteous cut off?
And where do we read in the scripture the righteous was just cut off?
Right.
You tell you, if somebody did something, something happens to somebody, they did something to get it. They did something that was worthy of the Most High judgment of putting them to death.
Right.
So now, you got children that are born with illnesses. You got children that are born blind. You got people that are born and they can't walk.
Right.
People born, they can't talk. People born, they just can't function. They disabled, handicapped. Some people call it retarded. Whatever you try to label, right? Well, damn. If the Most High said everything that come down to somebody is from him because of something they did, what did they do if they was just born that way?
Right.
I think this is where regeneration comes in. But before we jump right into it, let's touch two more scriptures. Let's go to Psalms 14 and 1. Psalms 14 and 1. I believe that's the atheist scripture.
Yep. Psalms chapter 14 and verse 1. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works.
Right. So the people that be talking about there is no God, they don't believe in God, he said the fools say that. You want to know why they say that? Because Ecclesiastes 8:11. I'm gonna show you why they say that. So anybody that walk around talking about God ain't real, don't believe in God, get away from them because they just pour out abominations. They do the most dirtiest and filthiest works. Get away from them.
Right.
Them who tell you the Bible ain't real, all that, get away from them. Because the Bible tell you the fools say that. The fools say that there is no God. And they pour out many abominations. The reason, you want to know why they speak like that? Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11. Because sentence against evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of man is full set in them to do evil.
Right. So you know how some people say, oh, if God was real, why kids getting killed every day and nobody get sent to jail for it? Why they do it? That's the mindset of them, because they do a lot of evil and they think they've got away with it, they start to believe there is no God.
Right.
So because judgment is not executed speedily upon sinners, their minds have fully become convinced into committing sin. They don't think there's no punishment for it. You know what I'm saying? So now, what the thing is, I'm going here to show you something. I'm finna go, the next scripture let's start at this regeneration now. Let's get right into it. I did all of that as a setup, to set it up, show you that bad things happen to you because God allowed it to happen. Why? Because of things you've done in your past. That was the first part of why I went through all this. Then I went through those last two scriptures, the Psalms 14 and 1 in Ecclesiastes 8:11 to show that some people are convinced in their own mind that there's no God, or could fully set in their mind to do sin because judgment has not came on them yet. They think they've gotten away with it. So now I'm going to show you something. First scripture to this regeneration thing. Let's get into it. Let's go to John chapter 9, verse 1.
John chapter 9 and verse 1.
Now before I go there, before you read that, let me read this piece again. Because like I told you, y'all know I'm a setup type teacher. I like to set you up. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11. Watch this. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, because it's not executed speedily, people think they've gotten away with it. Watch this. John chapter 9 verse 1.
John chapter 9 verse 1. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
So this man was born blind, right?
Mm-hmm. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin? This man or his parents?
So now, why did I stop at because judgment isn't executed speedily? Why did I stop there to read there was a man born blind?
Cause somebody in their past life, they felt like they ain't got punished, so they got punished in their second life.
Or his parents could have committed sin and they felt like they got away with it and he was born blind.
Check this out. Because punishment wasn't executed speedily.
Doesn't mean you're gonna get to your first life or your second. You'll get
Right.
It goes just like this. Sometimes you will commit sin, right? And the Most High won't punish you on your first time around. He won't punish you immediately, so he let you float for a little bit. Now you think you done got away with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this happens. Read it again.
And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. His disciple asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents?
Now, how in the world could this man sin if he was born blind?
Just born blind.
If he was born, he said, man, I just saw a man that was born. If he was just born and he was born blind, how could he sin? He had to do what? So why would they ask that question? That's the reason I'm asking. Why would they ask that?
Because they knew about that reincarnation.
Bingo, because they understood that it was regeneration. Now, watch this. Hold that because we're going to come back. We're going to hold that. I'm going to show you how God judges you when it comes to if he decides to let you live out this life. Remember, Cain murdered Abel and lived a long life.
Yeah, he did.
But in his regeneration, he came back as who?
Esau.
Condemned.
That was him?
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
In regeneration, yes. That's why he took his skin and his melanin away from him.
Marked them up.
Mark him. Watch this. So now, watch this. Give me Exodus 20 and 5. I'm going to show you exactly how the Most High will deal with us when it comes to regeneration.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. You said 20 and 5, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I am the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
So in the third or fourth generation, that's when the Most High is going to render punishment on you. So you'll commit sin. You'll have children. They'll bear children. They'll bear children. They'll bear children. And somewhere in the third or fourth generation, you come back with your judgment.
Thinking everything sweet.
You know what I'm saying? So you done lived your whole life, sin, thought everything was cool, and everything was fine. And then next thing you know, when your time to come back, you done receive judgment. This nigga ain't gonna be able to walk the rest of his life. When he 12, he gonna get hit by a car and it's gonna paralyze him from the waist down.
Man.
And he gonna be that way for the rest of his life. So I went there for a reason. Now let's go back to John chapter 9, verse 1.
John chapter 9 and verse 1. Thank you. John chapter 9 and verse 1. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
So this man was blind from his birth. Come on.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?
Right. Now, what you got to understand is, you don't get punished. Because I know a lot of us think that, his father had sinned, that's why he got that.
Right.
No, it's a double-sided judgment when things like that happen. It's a double-sided judgment. I'm going to show you. Watch this. Let's go to, so, hold on. Let's read out. Read out.
Jesus answered, Neither hath this man sinned. Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents.
So, hold on. If regeneration wasn't real, Christ would have said, what the hell are you talking about? He was born blind.
Right.
But Christ gave them an answer because they understood regeneration was real. So he said, nah, neither one of them sinned. He was blind so that the work of God could be manifested through him.
Right.
Meaning, I'm going to give him eyes to see. All right? And you'll read about that back in, I think that's 1 John 5. But, no, St. John 5. But let's go to, so now, let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel 18. Ezekiel 18:18. Because, some people think that, his father had sin, that's why he was born like that, or such. I'm going to show you, no, you get rendered judgment for what you did. Now, if it happened to be a double effect, the double effect is, let's say, you did something worthy of death. The Most High put you to death, but your mama and daddy was wicked too, right?
Right.
When you get killed, who does that hurt?
Them.
It hurt them. So that was a double judgment. I'm killing you for your actions, and I'm going to make them sorrow and mourn over you.
Right.
That's the double-headed judgment. But anybody that gets judgment is for his own iniquity. Watch this. Ezekiel 18:18.
Ezekiel chapter 18 and verse 18. As for his father, because his cruelly oppressed, spoiled his brother by violence, and did that which is not good among his people. Lo, even he shall die in his iniquity. Keep reading.
Yeah.
All right. Yet say ye, why doth not the son bear the iniquity of the father?
Why does not the son bear the iniquity of the father? Why don't the son bear the sins of the father? Come on.
When the son hath done that which is lawful and right, and hath kept all my statutes and have done them, he shall surely live.
Right. Come on.
All right. That soul that sinneth, it shall die.
So he's saying, if the father is wicked, but the son keeping my commandments, the son shall surely live. But verse 20 says, the soul that sinneth, it shall die.
All right.
I mean, no, the wicked Negro, he gonna die. You gotta pay for your own sins.
Right.
Come on.
The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him.
Right. So the son does not bear the iniquity of the father, neither does the father bear the iniquity of the son. Every man is accountable for their own sin. Now, Deuteronomy 24:16.
Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 16. Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 16. The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Right. So now, what is that telling y'all? What does it say?
For your own action.
Right. The son don't get punished for the father, and the father don't get punished for the son. Every man shall die for their own sins. So now, if a baby is born and it dies, if a baby dies at its birth, who committed that sin?
The baby.
Right. So how could the baby commit sin if it was just born?
Past life.
Past life.
Right.
Bingo. Right. So watch this. Now, every man bears their own sin, but the only way that changes, what's the only way to change you paying for your own sin and somebody else not getting charged for it? Leviticus 5:1. So every man shall pay for their own sin. The only way that changes, where you adopt somebody else's sin too, is if these scriptures here you don't apply these scriptures here. Let's start with Leviticus 5:1.
Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness whether he have seen or known of it, if he does not utter it, then shall he bear his iniquity.
So what is that saying?
You'll bear somebody else's iniquity.
No, but why?
If you
Because you ain't said, you ain't try to help render their soul.
So the Bible is saying, if you know of a sin, whether you've seen it or heard of it, and you don't say nothing,
you're still guilty for it.
you're going to be counted worthy. You're going to be held guilty for that sin. You're going to be held guilty for it. Watch this. Why? Because what did the Most High tell us to do? Ezekiel 3:17.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
18.
All right, 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thy hand.
Right. So the Most High said, I sent y'all here to give warnings. You supposed to warn them. But because you didn't say, so it's got one way. You know there's one way. You know about somebody doing sin and you don't say nothing, you're going to wear that iniquity. You're going to pay for that. Number two, you see somebody in sin and you don't warn them. Try to help save their soul. You're going to pay for that iniquity. Because if you don't give them warning, that's not love. That's hate. Leviticus 19 and 17. Leviticus 19 and 17. I'm going to touch this before I get right back into regeneration. This last scripture, then we'll get back to the point. I don't want to hold you here too long.
Leviticus 19 and verse 17.
So that's not love. That's hate. If you're not warning your brothers, if you're not telling when you see sin going down, that's not love. That's hate. And the Most High don't hold you accountable for that. Leviticus 19:17 real quick.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Right, so the scriptures say, you shall rebuke your brother, meaning correct them. It said, and not suffer sin upon them. How do you suffer sin? The word suffer means permit. How you permit sin? Not saying nothing, not
Just
telling, you're just allowing it to happen.
Right.
So that's hate. I know a lot of y'all think that that's love or whatnot, but you think that's love or keeping it real because you ain't telling, but that's hate. Because that issue that they got in them, that could rise up and become their leaven. And when I say leaven, that thing can grow up in them, and then eventually they'll destroy themselves, or even worse, the Most High have to destroy them. But you didn't give them warning to try to help them or stop them, when you could have helped or stopped them. But you let that thing fester up in them. Because you thought you was keeping it real. I got love for you. That ain't love. How do we love the children of God? 1 John 5 and 2.
1 John chapter 5 and verse 2. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
So we love the children of God by keeping the commandments. And by us keeping it, we're going to do what? Provoke others to keep it.
Right.
We're going to provoke others to keep God's commandments. So if you're not doing that, that's not love. That's hatred. You're supposed to rebuke your brother. You're supposed to tell on your brother. You got to do whatever. Warn your brother. Try to do whatever to keep them from getting themselves destroyed. Because understand, destruction is coming.
It is.
It's coming to this world. Right? So now, I'm going to show you what kind of... Let's go back to regeneration. Let's get back to the topic. All right? Now, watch this. Destruction is coming. Destruction is coming. Let's go to Habakkuk, something like that.
Habakkuk.
Yeah. Chapter 3. Back to regeneration. And in regeneration, with regeneration that's coming, I'm going to show you scripture in here now that's going to show you that even in with regeneration, when destruction is coming, since destruction is coming, regeneration has something to do with that too. Watch.
You said 3 and 6?
No, Habakkuk 3 and start at 1.
That's the Old Testament?
Yes.
Yeah. Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 1. A prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Saganonath. O Lord, I have heard thy speech, and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known. In wrath remember mercy. God came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise.
Verse 4.
And his brightness was as the light.
So none of this stuff has happened yet. None of this stuff has ever happened yet. Read on.
He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power.
All right. So now, as you read down, it starts talking about all the destruction that's going to come, right?
Yeah.
Jump over to verse 16.
Verse 16. When I heard, my belly trembled.
So Habakkuk said, man, when I heard the destruction that was going to come, it made my belly tremble. But basically what he's saying, you ever been so afraid that your stomach hurt?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. He said he was so afraid from what he heard and what he saw was going to happen, his stomach was hurting. Come on.
My lips quivered
His lips quivered. Come on.
at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones.
He was so scared he just felt weak, like he was going to die. Come on.
And I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble.
Hold on. He said that I might what?
Rest in the day of trouble.
Hold on now. Let's finish that out real quick before I explain it.
When he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops.
Now, he said, I prayed that in that day I rest. Now, he writing this from thousands years ago. Why would he be worried about, why would he say he hope he dead in the day of destruction? Why would he be saying, I hope that when this time comes, I'm at rest?
Because you know things finna get real.
You're missing the point.
Hold
on.
He know that he's gonna be.
He said he know it's finna be.
Regeneration.
No. Listen.
Therefore, he's gonna come back again.
Because of regeneration.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I was like, whole class that quick.
Think about it. He said, hold on. All the stuff I just saw and read about, all the stuff I just saw is going to happen. Now, he writing this before it happened, thousands of years ago. Why would he, out of nowhere, say, I pray that I be at rest when this time comes?
Right.
Because he said, dang, regeneration. I don't want to be alive when this happens.
I forgot they did know about it.
Bingo. So he knew that it's a chance I'm going to be alive when this happens. Right.
And that's serious.
So watch this. So now, watch this. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon. In the Apocrypha. That was chapter 1, right? When I was reading Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1,
Okay.
verse 1 and 2. So Habakkuk, a prophet, he said he saw the destruction that was coming, and he prayed from thousands of years ago. He praying that he don't be alive when this destruction comes. Why? Because he understood regeneration. I hope I ain't regenerated and still living when this thing happens. Watch this. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 2.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 2. For he will be found of them that tempted him not, and showed himself.
Hold on. Is that it?
You said 1 and 2, right? Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 2.
Check Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 1.
Okay, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 1. For the ungodly said.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Read it from the top again.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 1. For the ungodly said.
The ungodly. Hold on. He said, who said this?
For the ungodly.
Who said it?
The ungodly.
Read on.
Said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious.
Come on.
And in the death of a man there is no remedy.
Come on.
Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
So he said the ungodly said that neither was there a man known to return from the grave.
Oh.
Why would that make them ungodly?
Man.
Why would it make them ungodly to say that no man has returned from the grave?
They're saying regeneration not real.
Read verse 2.
Dang. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been.
Hold on. Read that again.
For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been.
Hold on. We shall be hereafter as if we have never been.
You won't remember nothing.
We shall be back on earth as if we have never been. Why? Because there's a such thing as regeneration. Probably not this same flesh. You ain't gonna look the same.
Yeah, you won't remember
But that spirit comes back. Watch this.
Spirit never die.
Right.
Finish it.
Yeah, finish it out.
All right. For the breath in our nostril is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart.
Alright, so now we went y'all better stay with me, because I'm gonna go somewhere now.
Man.
Watch this. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Now this is one of the heaviest parts of the class right here. You gotta stay with me, because it is kind of easy to get lost or confused, but no sweat. No sweat. You rocking with One Nation. We're gonna make sure you catch it.
Yeah, boy.
Alright, watch this. Let's get Ecclesiastes. We're gonna start at 1. We're gonna break this whole thing down.
All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 1. All wisdom coming from the Lord, and is with him.
Hold on, Ecclesiastes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Ecclesiastes. I'm sorry. I was getting into it too.
So we shall be hereafter as if we have never been.
That's deep. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Right, so when you read verse 1 is talking about Solomon. That is the son of David.
Right.
Right? And then verse 2, vanity of vanity. Vanity normally translates to vain. Why is it vain? Because it comes out to nothing. It means nothing. All right. Verse 3.
Verse 3. What profit hath a man?
Hold on. Now remember that word. What profit hath a man? Come on.
Of all his labor which he taketh under the sun.
Now the reason I said remember that word man, because the man is the whole I forgot the way to word it. Basically this whole thing is talking about man. This whole chapter goes into the man.
Right.
He says, so what profit have a man for all his works, for all his labors which he take under the sun? Watch this. Read on.
One generation passeth away.
So one man liveth and dies, and another generation comes around, right? Now you got to think about it. How's that work? What's a generation? Grandfather, father, grandson. That's one generation. So when that man lives, he has children, he dies. Another generation comes forth, right? Read on.
Okay. And another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
So as we keep generating, generation keeps coming, but the earth abideth forever, right? Watch this. Come on. So in other words, where's all this generating coming? Where is it happening at? On earth.
Right.
All right, come on.
The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose.
So that's telling you a cycle. It says the sun comes up, sun goes down, and then it hasted, meaning it speeds back to where it came up from. That's a cycle. Bam. Bam. Okay, read on.
The wind goes towards the south.
Now it's talking about the wind. Say the wind goes towards the south.
And turneth about unto the north.
Turn to the north.
It whirleth about continually. And the wind returneth again according to his circuit.
So it's talking about another cycle. The wind goes this way, bam, bam, and comes back where it started at again. Right? So I want y'all to hear this now. Watch this. Read on.
All the rivers run into the sea.
Now it's talking about the rivers.
Yet the sea is not full.
He said all the rivers run into the sea, but yet the sea is not full.
What?
Come on.
Until the place from whence the river come, there they return again.
So from wherever the river went, from where it came from, it goes out and it comes back again. You're reading about what? Another cycle. What is this telling you about the cycle of life? Watch this. Read on.
All things are full of labor.
All things are full of labor.
Man cannot utter it.
He said man cannot utter. I'm going to explain what that means. Come on.
All right. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing.
So it's saying that we see everything has a cycle. Everything has a cycle of life. The sun starts somewhere, it disappears, it comes back to that same spot. The rivers go somewhere and comes right back to the same spot. The wind goes somewhere and it comes right back to the same spot. You never consider that. You got a cycle too. You start here, you die, you come right back. It's saying you never consider that. Watch this. Read on.
All things, okay. The thing that have been.
Now, the thing that have been. The thing that have been. Well, what is this whole chapter about? Verse 3 again.
Verse 3. What profit hath a man of all his labor?
All right, go back down to verse 9 again.
Verse 9. The thing that hath been.
The thing that have been. Come on.
It is
now, remember, the thing that have been. What we're going to have to figure out is, what is this thing? Read on.
The thing that have been, it is that which shall be.
So the thing that have been, it is that shall be, right?
Mm-hmm. And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And that which is done is that shall be done. So it said the thing that have been. So whatever it was back then, it shall be again. It shall be now. And it says the things which was done is going to be the things that are going to be done. Come on.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
And there is no new thing under the sun. Let's see what that thing is talking about. We gotta go get it. Let's go see what this thing is talking about. Let's go to Ecclesiastes Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 10. Let's see what that thing is.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 10. That which hath been is named already.
So hold on, remember, because what did Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 say? The thing that have been, that is it which shall be. Right. So what is the thing? Read that again.
That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man.
Hold on. The thing that it was talking about is what?
That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man.
Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 now. So now that we understand that what that thing is, we understand that thing is a man. Let's plug the word man in at verse 9.
All right.
We might be cooking with grease at night. Might be cooking with some grease.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. The man that hath been.
Oh, the man that have been. The man that have been. Come on.
It is that which shall be.
So the man that have been, the man that he was way back when, is the same man you're going to be now.
Right.
If you was a man that didn't give a damn about God's law, statutes, and commandments back then, you're going to be that same man today. If you was that man that was backsliding, you're going to be that same man today, backsliding. Come on.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And that which is done is that shall be done. If you was a man who got yourself put to death, you're going to be the same man to get yourself put to death. It's telling you want to, in this verse right here, I'm going to tell you, now you understand why history repeats itself. Because you're the same person you was in, the same mindset you had back then, the same mindset they have now. That's why history repeats itself. Don't you think if it was all new beings came, things would have changed?
Right.
No, you're the same person you was back then. That's why history repeats itself. Watch this. Read on.
I'm going to plug in thing again. And there is no new thing under the sun.
There is no new man under the sun. Watch this.
Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
So, is there anything thereof that we can say this is new? If there was new people, new spirits, something would have been new. But there's absolutely nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Why people say that ain't nothing new under the sun and then don't understand? Then, yeah, but you never consider you not new either.
Right.
There's nothing new under the sun, but you don't consider that you not new either. So when this baby is born, is this baby new?
Parents always say, man, this baby act like it been here before.
Yeah, you ain't never heard that saying?
Yeah, they say
Oh,
that.
this baby act like it been here because you have.
Right.
Because you have. Watch this. Now, watch this. Read on.
It hath been already of old times.
So ain't nothing new. It already been of old times. Come on.
It hath been already of old time, which was before us.
Which was before us. Come on.
There is no remembrance of former things.
That's the point. There's no remembrance of the former things. You don't remember what happened back then. Nobody remembers We all been here before. We don't remember who we were.
Right.
You don't know. You don't remember who you are. That's why people kill me when they say they. There's one dude said he King David. He was King David. I need your wife.
You better
So
sit
what the hell
down,
is
man.
this? One dude said he King David. The other dude say he's the comforter. You got another dude. I done heard some crazy stuff in it. I was Moses in my past life.
You better cut it out.
Negro, the Bible just said there's no remembrance of the former things. You don't know who you was back in the past. The only thing you can do is say, I know I'm wicked as hell now. So I had to be wicked. I had to be wicked back then.
Right.
Watch this.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
Verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
So there's no remembrance of the things that happened before, and there should be no remembrance of the things to come. Well, if you only live one time, why would you have to remember the things that happened before or the things that's to come?
Right.
You ain't been here before, remember? So obviously you had to be here for him to say, I'm gonna cut off the memory of the things that happened back then and the things that's to come. So, because remember, had you known you was gonna get shot for stealing that man's stuff, you wouldn't have stole it.
Right.
But if you was keeping the commandments, you wouldn't have had to worry about getting shot.
True.
Alright, so watch this. That was verse 11.
Verse 11.
Alright, so now, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9 said the thing. We went to find out what the thing was in Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. The thing happens to be man, which I already told you that from verse 3. This whole thing was going into man.
Right.
Alright, so now, he said there will be no remembrance of the former things, nor the things that are to come. I'm going to give you an example of that. I'm going to show you our forefathers in the Bible how they didn't remember who they were. They didn't remember who they were, but Christ knew who they were. I'm going to show you. Watch this. Let's go to John chapter 1 verse 19. St. John chapter 1 verse 19.
John chapter 1 and verse 19. John chapter 1 and verse 19. And this is the record of John. When the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Christ.
So John the Baptist wasn't no chump. He said, he ain't lied not. But he told him straight from the beginning, listen, I ain't Christ.
I can tell you that.
I can tell you that. I ain't Christ. Now watch this. Read on.
And they asked him, what then art thou, Elias?
He said, are thou Elias? Elias means, that's talking about Elijah. Are you Elijah?
And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no.
He said, no, I'm not him. Watch this. Read on.
All right.
Hold on. That was 21.
That was 21.
All right. So they asked him, was he Elijah? He said, no. No, I'm not Elijah. Now, why would they ask him, was he Elijah?
Right.
Let's go to Malachi 4 and 5. Malachi 4 and 5. Just to find out, why would they ask John the Baptist, was he Malachi? Now, remember what John the Baptist was doing.
Right.
He was doing worse. He was doing worse, and he was giving warnings. He was letting them know, hey, man, man about to return.
Right.
Watch this.
Malachi chapter 4 and verse 5. Remember ye, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
Right. All right, so he said, I'm going to send you Elijah before the great and dreadful day of the Lord. So when they saw John the Baptist and the works he was doing, they're like, are you Elijah? Are you the prophet Elijah? And John the Baptist said, no. But why? The scripture said there will be no remembrance of the former things.
All right.
So now, let's see something. Let's go to Matthew 17. Matthew 17 and 10.
Matthew chapter 17 and verse 10. Matthew chapter 17 and verse 10. And his disciple asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall come first, and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is already come. It's come already.
So they said, well, why does the scripture say that Elijah must come first? Why does the scripture say that Elijah must come first? And Christ said, oh, I tell you, he's already came. Well, who was he talking about? Who was Elijah? Read on.
And they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed.
So he said, he came. Elijah came already, but y'all knew him not. You knew him not, and you did whatsoever you wanted with him, basically.
Right.
Come on.
Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them.
Come on.
All right. Then the disciples understood that they spake unto them of John. Oh. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
Hold on. So who was Elijah?
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist. Why didn't John the Baptist know that he was Elijah?
Because the Most High already said he's going to wipe out your memory.
Because his memory was gone.
No kind of memory.
Right. He didn't remember that he was Elijah in his past life. He didn't remember that. And they didn't notice him. Why? Because he didn't look the same. Remember, you're going to come back. You're not going to look the same. You ain't going to never come back and be... Ain't no cross-gender thing now. Because some people teach that. No, if you was a man, you was always a man. If you was a woman, you was always a woman.
Right.
You ain't going to turn into no cat, no rat. That ain't...
Yeah, people play too much when they say ignorance like that. When I come back, I'm going to be a horse. Sit down.
Like the sacred cows.
It ain't happening like that. He said, you was a man, you're going to be a man. You're going to be the same man you was. You're going to look different, but you're still going to be the same spirit.
Right.
You're going to be wicked as hell, or you're going to be righteous. Or you're going to be playing with it, fooling yourself.
Right.
So, they asked John the Baptist, are you Elijah? He said, no. Then, after they done put him to death, cut his head off, and all this other stuff, Christ come and say, I'm that man. I'm the one who returned. And it's like, well, the Bible said that Elijah supposed to come first. He did come. And you knew him not. And you did whatsoever you pleased with him. And likewise, y'all going to do with me. And then he said, when he told them that, they understood he was talking about John the Baptist.
They cut his head off?
Yeah, they put him in prison and cut his head off as a birthday gift. All right? So now, watch this. Let's go to... What the hell am I looking for?
That thing is deep, man.
Word.
Crazy.
So now let's go to let's get some more examples here. I'll get lost if I try to go anywhere else now. Let's get some more examples. Let's go to Hebrew. Hebrew 7:1. I should have put this class together. I got some ideas of where I want to go to. I got it. Let's get some more examples there. Let's go to Hebrew 7:1. I want to ask y'all something. Now, this is the part where I was telling y'all, some of y'all might not believe. What about Christ? Was Christ regenerated?
I ain't gonna lie, you can fix my face. That's a heck of a question.
Let's see.
I was finna say something.
Let's see if Christ was regenerated. Now, like I told you, it may be hard to catch, but I'm going to give it to you the best way I can. Let's go to Hebrews 7:1 real quick.
For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, prince of the Most High God.
Stop at the end of verse 1.
All right. Who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
That's it.
That's verse
All right. So now, we got to catch the encounter that I was talking about. Read that one more time so they can catch it.
For this Melchizedek,
come on.
king of Salem, priest of the Most High God.
Priest of who?
The Most High God.
Come on.
Who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
All right, so now let's get this encounter. Remember I said priest of the Most High God. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna catch this encounter that he had with Abraham. Melchizedek, we're gonna catch this. We're gonna catch the encounter that he was talking about. You gotta go back to Genesis chapter 14. Genesis chapter 14 and
This thing is serious.
Genesis 14 and start at 17.
14 to 17.
Yeah.
That kind of messed me up. I gotta lie to you, it is. Oh, man. Genesis chapter 14 and verse 17. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of the Chaldor-Lamorer and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Sheveh, which is the king's Dow.
Go ahead. Read
All right. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thy enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said unto Abraham, Give me the persons, and take the goods to thyself. And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord.
Stop at the end of 20.
Oh. All right. Yeah.
Read 20 again.
Verse 20. And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thy enemies into thy hand, and he gave him tithes of all.
So he did what? He gave him tithes of all things, right?
Right.
So Abraham gave Melchizedek tithes of all things after Melchizedek blessed him, right?
Right.
So that was the encounter. I want to get that for a reason. Go back to Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1. Let's see something real quick. It gets controversial up in here.
Yeah, it's about to. Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 1. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
Read on.
To whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace.
Read on.
Without father, without mother, without.
Okay, so now.
What?
Hold on. Because verse 1 and 2 talked about the encounter. Now, read verse 3 slowly.
Without father?
Now it's talking about Melchizedek. Now, when you read in the Bible, Melchizedek, it never talks about his mother. It never talks about a father. It don't even have a lineage. It just, he popped up out of nowhere. King Melchizedek. Right? Watch this. So he said, read on.
Without father, without mother, without descent.
So that's telling you, there's no lineage that led up to where he came from. Watch this. Read on.
Having neither beginning of days.
So they got no calculations of where his days began at. Come on.
Nor end of life.
Nor where his life ended. Come on.
Oh, heck no.
Watch this.
But made like unto the Son of God, abideth a priest continually.
Now watch this.
Hold up.
Watch this. I'm gonna go a little juicy over it. Watch this. Jump over to John chapter 8, verse 33.
It's getting hot up in here.
Jump over to John chapter 8, verse 33. So you got no calculation of when his days begin, no calculation when his life ended. We have no lineage of his father, mother, or descent, anything that links to where he came from. He just popped up as the priest of the Most High. Him and Abraham. He met Abraham. He blessed Abraham, and Abraham gave him a tithe of all things. John 8:33. Watch this.
John chapter 8 and verse 33. They answer him, We be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?
Okay, so that's the end of 33?
Yep.
Now watch this. Jump down to 39.
Verse 39. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahushua, Jesus said unto them, If ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham.
He says, so if you was Abraham's seed, you would do the works of Abraham. Why was he saying that? Jump over to verse 40. Read 40.
Verse 40. But now you seek to kill me. A man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God, this did not Abraham.
So he said, if you were the children of Abraham, you'd have did the works of Abraham. Abraham didn't seek to kill me. Watch this. Jump over to verse 56.
Verse 56. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day.
Hold on.
What?
He said, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Now, when did Abraham see Christ? We're going to read it. Watch it. Read on.
To see my day, and he saw it and was glad.
He said, your dad saw my day. He was glad. He rejoiced and he was glad when he saw it. How do we know that? Because he gave Melchizedek a tithing of all things, right? Yeah. But watch this. Read on.
Then said the Jews unto him, Thou art not yet 50 years old.
So Abraham old. You ain't even 50 years old. How you saw Abraham? Watch this. Read on.
Man. And thou, and hast thou seen Abraham?
Read on.
All right. And Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I said to you, before Abraham was, I am.
So he said before Abraham was, I was. So basically what I'm telling you is, you better be careful how you treating people, because you don't know what spirit you might be sitting next to. You don't know who you sitting next to. You don't know who that spirit is. Melchizedek he was here and he was regenerated when Christ came. That's why you have no lineage of where he popped up from, his mother, his father, his descendant, when his life began or when his life ended. All you know is that on that day, he was happy and he blessed them. How? He gave him the titles of all things. And the Jews were like, you ain't even 50 yet. How you seen Abraham?
Right.
I was here before then. Before Abraham was, I was. Well, who was the high king and high priest at that time? Melchizedek.
Right. And they say Christ is the high priest.
So like I told you, watch this. Let's go to Matthew 16.
Matthew chapter 16. Matthew chapter 16.
Start at 13.
Matthew chapter 16 and verse 13. When Jesus came into the coast of
16 and 13.
Yeah.
Um,
Of Syria, Philip, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?
so he's like, who do people say that I am? Come on.
And they said, Some say that thou art John the Baptist.
So he's like, who say that this is the point. Melchizedek, who's his father and his mother? We don't know. So he said, well, who do people say I, the Son of Man, am? Come on.
Some Elias.
Some say that you Elijah. Now, Elijah is dead. So why would they ask, is he Elijah? They understood regeneration. Come on.
And others Jeremiah.
Some say you Jeremiah. Well, Jeremiah is dead. Why would they say, are they crazy as hell, or do they understand regeneration is real?
They understand regeneration real.
Come on.
Or one of the prophets.
Or you just some prophet.
He said unto them, But whom say ye that I am?
And Simon Peter told him, thou art Christ, the Son of the living God. All right, so watch this. Now, let's go back to the Apocrypha. So, why would they be throwing up all these dead prophets' names if he's standing right in front of them?
Right.
Because they understood that regeneration was real. Watch this. Go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 38.
Second Ezra chapter 1 and verse 38. Second Ezra chapter 1 and verse 38. And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east.
So to see the people that cometh from the east. All right, watch this. Where we at?
Verse 39.
Read on.
Unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Osea.
Right. So he said, I'm going to give you, look for the, I'm sorry, read it. Hold on, let me get there. It's 1 and 38.
Yeah, we at 39 now.
Now behold, brothers, what glory. And see the people that came from the east, to whom I will give you for leaders. Now, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is dead. So why is he saying I will give you them again for leaders?
Dang.
Watch this. Read on.
Osea.
Osea is Hosea. Now, remember, all these prophets is dead. They said, I'm going to give them to you again as leaders. I'm going to make something clear once we get through all these names. So, the first, read it again.
Unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Osea,
Which is Hosea.
Amos,
Amos.
and Micah.
Which is Micah.
Okay, Joel,
Joel.
Abdias,
That's Obadiah.
and Jonas,
Which is Jonah.
Nahum,
Nahum.
Abacus,
Which is Habakkuk.
Sophenis,
Which is Zephaniah.
Agis,
Which is Haggai.
Zechariah,
Which is Zechariah.
in Mel.
Where you at?
Malachi.
Malachi that's Malachi.
All right. Which is called also an angel of the Lord.
Which is called also an angel of the Lord, because those were the prophets. Those were the 12 prophets he was going to give us. Plus Abraham and Jacob, the 12 prophets is the them that he named. He was going to send them back. You got to think about it. In slavery, could we read, write, and all this stuff?
No.
So how did we come to the remembrance that we Israelites now? Those prophets are back.
Right.
They back. He said, the leaders of Israel, those 12, they are back. We don't know who they are, but they works to show who they are. They're going to be the ones who are bringing us into the remembrance that we are the children of Israel, and we got to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what the prophets did. They taught to come back to God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So guess what? That's why I say be careful. You don't know who you sit next to. Don't buck up against leadership. You don't know who you may be bucking up against. Somebody, those 12 prophets, the Most High set them in places, and they back today. They back today, reminding us that we are the Israelites.
Right.
And to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. He said, I was going to send them back in the last days. And whether you want to believe it or not, we in the last days.
Oh, yeah.
We go through prophecy any day y'all want. I can prove it to you. We in the last days. All right?
You better believe it.
So now we read verse, what, 40?
Yeah, that was verse 40.
Now, let's go to Sirach 49 and 10. Now, remember that. I want you to remember what we just read. These prophets coming back. Sirach 49 and 10 is talking about that. Watch this.
Sirach chapter 49 and verse 10. Sirach chapter 49 and verse 10. Who was ordained for reproofs in their time, to pacify the wrath of the Lord's judgment.
Sirach 49 and 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sirach chapter 49 verse 10. And of the 12 prophets, let the memorial be blessed.
So it said of the 12 prophets. Remember, we just read the 12 prophets. We just read the 12 that was going to be. He said, let the memorial of them be blessed. I'm going to show you what that's talking about in a second. But they bring back the memory to you all right now. Come on.
And let their bones flourish again out of their place.
And let their bones flourish again out of their place. It's not talking about their bones coming back. It's not let them spirits come back.
For they comfort Jacob and delivered them by assured hope.
He said they comfort Jacob. When he says comfort Jacob, means they comfort Israel and deliver them with assured hope. How do they do that? They tell you to keep commandments. They woke you up and made you realize, damn, we the children of Israel. That's it on that.
Yeah.
Now, that 49:10, that's exactly what it's going to. That's how we know today that we Israel again. Because they back reminding and teaching us the laws and commandments. So it says, let their memorial be blessed. What was that talking about? Revelations 21, verse 1 through 3. Revelations 21, 1 through 3. It's the scripture that I read a lot because we're going to have to jump over to see what that's talking about.
Revelation chapter 21, you said verse 3.
Start at verse 1 through 3.
Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Come on.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adored her for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of the heavens saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God.
All right, now, jump over to verse 10.
Verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain.
So, John is getting carried away in the spirit. Remember, the scripture says, if you want to serve my Father, you got to serve him in spirit and truth. And no man can see my Father except he be dead. Right? So he said, he was carried away in the spirit. So what is he seeing? He's seeing the kingdom now. He was carried away in the spirit. Now he's going to see the kingdom. And he's going to describe it to us what the kingdom of heaven looks like. Right? Read on.
Great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem.
Now, he said, show me that holy city. Show me that great city. What's that great city? Heaven, the holy Jerusalem. Remember back in verse 2, John said, I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem.
Right.
That's talking about the kingdom of heaven. So he said, he carried me away in the spirit, because you got to go to the spirit. He says, showed me a high and great mountain, that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God. Come on.
Having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone clear as crystal.
So it's saying the place that he saw, this kingdom he saw coming down, was beautiful. It was beautiful. Come on.
And had a wall great and high.
So this place got walls. The walls are great and high. Why would you have high walls? So no man could jump over the wall.
Right. And had 12 gates.
And this gate had 12 gates. What are gates for? To keep unwanted people out.
Right.
Come on.
And at the gates 12 angels.
He saw how many people at the gates?
12 angels.
Why would you have a gate and 12 people guarding each gate? Security. So nobody can just run up in the gates. Come on.
And names written thereon.
And he saw names written on the 12 gates. Come on.
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So those gates are only for the children of Israel. So guess what? If you're not from the children of Israel, the kingdom is not for you.
Not at all.
Read on.
Verse 13. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates.
So he's telling you, it's 3 gates on each side of the wall. I'm on each side of the kingdom. This side, it got 3 gates. This side, 3 gates. This side, 3 gates. The back side, 3 gates. Now, if the gates all got a name for the children of Israel, that means you need to know what gate you belong to.
Right.
So you need to know what tribe you from. Come on.
And the wall of the city had 12 foundations.
And the wall had 12 foundations. Watch this.
And in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
Those were the 12 apostles' names that we read back then. In Sirach. In Esdras. Those were the 12 apostles that we read about. They were picked for the Lamb. Why? Because they are the ones that are going to remind us who we are in the last days. You know what I'm saying? We would all still be running around here saying we Africans.
Right.
Some of you will still be saying you Indians. Some of you will still be saying you Puerto Ricans. Some of you will still be saying you Mexican.
Mix.
Panamanian.
Right.
Guatemalan.
Like
Cuban.
Right.
Haitian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Argentina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On, so on and so forth. You'll still be saying you all these different things. Some people say they 7 different nationalities.
Which is crazy.
I'm Indian mixed with black, mixed with Mexican, mixed with badass and a mixture of Miss Sexy Mother Lover, all that.
I'm like, Miss, put that together and you just sound dumb.
All right. But he said in the last days, those 12 prophets, he was going to send them back and they was going to remind us of who we are. Of course, they ain't come in the same flesh. I mean, as far as they tribes, they still in the same tribe. There ain't no cross tribe and all of that in Regeneration. You are who you are.
Right.
You was a disrespectful Judite, you're going to be a disrespectful Judite. You was a righteous Levite, you're going to be a righteous Levite. All right? So, with that, Regeneration is real.
It is.
It's real. It's so much more I could have went into if I just took time to put this class together, but I might do a part 2. I might do a part 2. Because it's some.
You said Mike.
There you go.
You better do a part 2.
Yeah,
We got to do a part 2 because I didn't get into a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that thing.
I ain't get into a lot of stuff. I ain't get into Solomon. I ain't get into. I got a lot of stuff.
Part where he said you'll sit again with your fathers.
Right. It's a lot. And he said the blood of the prophet shall be found in the earth. How? If they already did.
Right.
It's a lot. So I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna hold it right there. I'm gonna bring it to a halt right there. That's Regeneration Part 1. We gotta come back. It's some more stuff. Now the Christ thing may be hard to see, but it's clear. I got it painted for you perfectly. All you gotta do is go back and read the stuff that we jumped past.
Even when I was reading, I was like, hold up.
All right. So that's the end of the class. Everybody looking at me puzzled.
It was deep. That was a deep class, man.
So what I'm wondering, any questions?
That was a heck of a class, man. I can't even play.
Part 2 coming tomorrow.
We got a lot to cover. Regeneration go deep.
Yeah.
Part 3.
I'm telling you.
Glory to the Father. Glory to the Father.
All glory to the Father.
It's so much more stuff that seek Christ. There's so much stuff that we could bring out because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But you know how I was supposed to put the class together, but I fell asleep. So basically, you know, I just freestyle what I can remember and what's already precepted. Glory to the Father.
Oh, glory
to the Father. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I ain't really got much more to say, really.
Well, that was a oh, man, this still got me messed up.
One dude said, I guess I'm gonna have to do part 2 now. They say they waiting for part 2.
Oh, glory.
Alright, I'll try to make sure I bring that back shortly. Part 2. Shalom.
Shalom.
Happy Sabbath. The Sabbath ain't quite over yet.
No, it ain't.
It ain't over yet. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Swan.
Very good.
Love.
Swine. Not swine, but swine.
You're gonna switch my whole word up.
Swine.
It's cool though.
Swine. Sweet onions and liver and chicken.
Hold on, what we ain't reading.
What you want to read?
Said what we didn't read. We're gonna close it out.
Yeah. Matthew's 26.
Matthew chapter 26 and verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very, very precious ointment and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For you have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her.
So we are commanded by the Most High God to bring out what this sister did for Christ, preparing him for his burial, showing that you women,
That's crazy.
you women are important to this truth too. All right, we need y'all in this thing. We don't build a nation without y'all. Y'all are more than just bed witches, bread bakers, fringe makers, and pretty baby makers. We need y'all. We need y'all. We need y'all. We love y'all.
Right. Love y'all.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Don't know where was off my wife, so when I went in the water, she came too. Now everything seemed clearer, and I was looking at from a distance. 10 years of filthy sin got washed away in an instance. Now we all in the same boat, but we ain't going no fishing. Yeah, I believe in Christ, but no, I ain't no Christian. If you ain't trying to hear it, I try not to waste too much time on them. Even in the darkness, my Israelite shine on them. So glad that I fell in love before I was out of time. Waiting in the water, John boy, but I came out, you one thing. Yes, I told my old stuff that he leave me. Yeah, I told my old stuff that he leave me. But before you leave, make sure you do some cleaning, cause I got a new me, I'm receiving. Y'all call it a bandwagon, but I right driving, I climb on it. Found out the truth, hopped on that beat path and I rhymed on it. The Father gave me a contract with covenant, so I signed on it. So I signed on it. They know who we are. Don't need to mention cause they know. I'm proud of who I am. But don't get too proud that I start to boast. Used to feel too light to sink or too heavy to float. But all I needed was dip in the spirit of the most. Yeah, I told my old stuff that he leaving. Yeah, I told my old stuff that he leaving. But before you leave, make sure you do some cleaning, cause I got a new me, I'm receiving.